to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Hello there, and welcome. I am Owen Thorne, and I'd like to invite you to drift into a place of deep calm and restoration. Take a moment now to gently close your eyes, if that feels comfortable, and feel the soft rhythm of your breath. Let each inhale fill you with a sense of peace, and let each exhale carry away whatever worries or tension linger from your day. Tonight, you'll be transported to the enchanting Fairy Glen on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, a hidden realm of soft green hills, twirling pathways, and secret blossoms that hide beneath rolling mounds of moss. With your eyes growing heavier, let yourself sink further into stillness. Feel your shoulders loosen. Allow your thoughts to slow. You are safe here, embraced by the soothing hush of evening, ready to explore a world where time seems to wander at its own gentle pace. Before we begin our journey, take another calming breath. Imagine the fresh scents of a misty morning, like cool dew resting on wildflowers and grasses, drifting into your lungs. As you exhale, release any lingering tension in your muscles. Let them soften, let them yield. The space around you feels quiet and peaceful. Let the sound of your own heartbeat remind you that you are alive, resting, and utterly deserving of this calm. You can feel your breath settling into an easy, steady rhythm. And now, let the story find you, wrapping you in the soothing embrace of a lush glen, hidden away in the wild heart of the Scottish Highlands. Far beyond the hum of busy towns, in a remote corner of the Isle of Skye, there sits a magical formation of grassy hills, known as the Fairy Glen. The weather is mild, and a gentle breeze ripples through the rolling slopes. Its emerald mounds and spiral ridges seem almost too whimsical to be real. Under the soft light of a pale morning sun, a lone traveller comes into view. She steps carefully along a narrow footpath, feeling each blade of grass bow beneath her boots, as if the land itself is welcoming her arrival. The sky, painted with faint hints of powder blue and dove-grey clouds, arches overhead in a protective curve. Everything here is tranquil, the hush of the breeze, the subtle hush of the land, the hushed hush of time itself. Birds, perched on low branches and hidden in unseen nooks, take turns singing to the traveller, their melodies gentle as velvet. The entire glen feels like a living lullaby, a dream unfolding in slow motion. Her senses are treated to a tapestry of quiet wonders. In the distance, a cluster of rocky outcrops rises, each draped in velvety moss. These outcrops are small yet grand in their mysterious shapes, as though carefully sculpted by unknown hands. Tucked between them are tiny wildflowers, their colours just beginning to bloom in pastel shades of lavender and buttercream. A trickle of water from a small hidden spring glides over stones, adding its soft murmur to the hush of the glen. The traveller pauses, listening to the water's soothing tune. She notices how this gentle music seems to swirl in the breeze, echoing like a lullaby, both ancient and new. With each step forward, she feels drawn deeper into the heart of this secret realm, as though invited to explore every fold and layer of its quiet magic. Green hummocks rise all around her, bearing a patchwork of wild grasses and ferns. The land is like a gentle puzzle, each hill a piece that contributes to the glen's enduring mystery. A solitary crow flutters overhead, its dark silhouette a contrast against the pale morning sky. It gives a single call, then drifts away on a lazy current of air. The traveller follows its path for a moment, feeling a sense of weightlessness, as if the world here is free from the anchors of worry or haste. She notices the faint scent of heather in the air, sweet and earthy, mingling with the moisture that lingers in the soil. The day is still young, and the glen itself seems to be in no rush to fully wake. Soft bird calls and the trickling spring weave together into a tapestry of gentle sound, lulling the traveller into a state of calm expectancy. From a distance, a hill shaped like a green spiral beckons. It is said that if one walks its winding path clockwise, calm and serenity increase with each careful step. As the traveller approaches, she spots tiny blooms peeking out along the edges of the track, delicate blossoms in muted pinks and whites, their petals trembling in the breeze. She kneels down, cupping her palm around one of the flowers as though in greeting, marvelling at its fragile beauty. In the soft morning light, these petals appear almost translucent, holding traces of pastel colours that deepen toward their centres. She breathes in the gentle aroma. Though faint, it carries a note of sweetness that soothes and comforts, as if this quiet glen holds remedies for restless minds. Taking the spiral path slowly, the traveller notices how the grass beneath her feet feels cushiony, almost plush, giving each step a meditative, rhythmic quality. Her breaths grow deeper, in harmony with the quiet hush of the land. Around each curve, the slope reveals a new angle of the Fairy Glen. One moment, she sees a cluster of rocks bathed in dappled sunlight. The next, a hidden hollow where ancient trees twist their branches overhead like silent guardians. She is not alone here. Tiny birds flit from branch to branch, their brown and gold feathers catching the light. When they sing, their notes echo softly against the curves of the hills, as if the landscape amplifies their lullabies. Step by step, the traveller feels a subtle shift in her consciousness, a softening in her heart, a gentle clearing of thoughts. At the spiral's peak, she stands on a small crest. The view opens up to reveal a tapestry of rolling hills and dappled shadow, each mound forming a unique curve of green. The wind at this vantage point is a gentle caress, carrying the distant coo of doves and the occasional cry of a gull venturing inland. She closes her eyes to let the breeze touch her face, stirring strands of hair, while the world below seems to gently exhale. Time stretches here, each moment like a warm droplet of honey, slowing and inviting one to savour it thoroughly. a sense of reverence settles over her, as though she has stumbled upon a sacred place shaped by centuries of gentle winds and softly falling rains. When she descends from the spiral hill, she follows a narrow path that meanders through a valley of tall grasses. The stalks sway around her legs, rustling softly, as if whispering age-old secrets. The traveller's footsteps produce a muffled crunch against the ground. She halts momentarily to spot a small cluster of foxgloves, their bell-shaped flowers dangling in quiet grandeur. A bee buzzes among the petals, drifting lazily as though it has all day. And indeed, it does. Observing this tiny creature carrying on its peaceful routine stirs a sense of gratitude in her. The Fairy Glen, in its understated way, showcases how life can be simple and yet so full, how every creature, every plant, finds a gentle rhythm in the hush of this secluded sanctuary. Onward, she wanders toward a slope that leads to a shallow, mirror-like pond. The water's surface is perfectly still, reflecting a handful of passing clouds overhead. Approaching slowly, she catches sight of slender reeds along the pond's edge. Their tips bow gracefully under the weight of water droplets still clinging from the morning's dew. A pair of small ducks swims near the center, leaving gentle ripples in their wake. The traveller smiles at the ripple patterns, observing how they widen in concentric circles until they fade into the quiet. It is a moment of serene poetry. Kneeling at the bank, she dips her fingertips into the pond. The water is cool and clear, a subtle mirror of the sky. A single leaf floats by, drifting at an unhurried pace, as though it has fully embraced the meandering flow of time. Nearby, a short, crooked tree with twisted branches stands as a silent sentinel. Its bark is covered in thick emerald moss, and its trunk bends in an almost friendly gesture toward the pond. The traveller can sense a gentle wisdom in its presence, as though the tree has witnessed countless dawns and nights, welcoming each day's hush with equal calm. She places a hand on its trunk, feeling the rough texture and the damp coolness of the moss. A faint breeze rattles the leaves overhead, creating a soft, applause-like murmur. This subtle sound seems to encourage her, to remind her that the glen itself acknowledges her presence, and in a quiet, comforting way blesses her journey. As midday approaches, the sun rises slightly higher, illuminating pockets of hidden blooms nestled along the glen's slopes. In one secluded corner, behind a shield of rocks, she finds a patch of delicate flowers with petals in shades of pale blue. These blossoms, so unassuming yet radiant, reflect the colour of the sky. Their gentle fragrance catches in the breeze, mingling with notes of fresh grass. A few butterflies wander by, their wings a tapestry of yellows and soft browns, fluttering as if pulled by an invisible thread toward these blossoms. The traveller watches the graceful dance for several breaths. Each movement seems carefully orchestrated by the hush of nature. No rush, no urgency, just a pure, unhurried ballet of life, unfolding as it will. She continues her exploration along a winding path, the soil soft and slightly springy beneath her steps. The traveller catches glimpses of small birds darting through the air, finches with bright feathers flitting across the greenery, and starlings gliding silently overhead in gentle arcs. From time to time, a light puff of breeze carries the rustle of leaves and the faint hum of unseen insects. Reaching a cluster of rocks that form a natural seat, the traveller rests. The seat is warmed by the sun's gentle rays, inviting her to linger and absorb the calm of her surroundings. She closes her eyes, listening intently for the subtle sounds of the glen, the low whistle of the wind weaving through tall grass, the soft chirp of a wren hidden among the stones, and the distant call of gulls returning to their coastal roosts. Each sound merges into a lullaby that soothes away even the slightest remnants of tension. After her brief rest, the traveller glances over the hill and notices a small trickle of water, which forms a miniature waterfall tumbling over mossy stones. Intrigued, she follows the sound, guided by the tranquil melody of water dancing over rocks. The cascade, though modest in scale, feels like a secret discovery. A fern-laced arch frames the gentle waterfall, and tiny droplets sparkle in the filtered sunlight, as if the air itself is alive with shimmering crystals. She dips her hand into the water, letting its fresh coolness glide over her palm. The swirling eddies calm her senses. Time appears to slow even more, and for a moment she imagines that the water is washing away not just the dust of her journey, but also any lingering restlessness in her heart. Her worries dissolve into the current, leaving her light, content, and attuned to the soft wonder around her. Venturing deeper into the glen, the traveller discovers an ancient stone circle. The stones, weathered and covered with pale lichen, stand quietly, as if rooted in the lore of centuries past. From each rock, patches of soft moss trail toward the ground, weaving a tapestry of gentle greens against the dull grey of the stones. She steps between the ancient pillars, half expecting an echo of some bygone chant or whisper of an old legend. Instead, she's greeted by a profound hush, a silence so calm that it feels sacred. The circle is open to the sky, and a single beam of sunlight filters through a passing cloud, illuminating the center. She steps into the light, feeling a subtle warmth where the sun's rays touch her skin. In that circle of gentle radiance, she senses a deep connection with nature, an unspoken bond that soothes the spirit and hushed the mind. While continuing her walk, she notices a shallow indentation in the earth, like a natural seat surrounded by heather. Here, she stops once more, allowing the quiet of the glen to envelop her. She becomes aware of her heartbeat, a gentle thump that resonates in the stillness. Her breathing settles into a slow, comforting rhythm. Distant birdsong mingles with the soft rustling of the breeze through the heather, lulling her into a peaceful reverie. She imagines the tapestry of life in this glen, tiny insects weaving unseen pathways in the grasses, seeds carried by the wind to find new homes, raindrops nourishing each bloom and bud. In this perfect simplicity, she feels a sense of belonging, as though the glen itself has always been waiting for her to step into its gentle embrace. Afternoon light begins to mellow, casting longer shadows across the emerald mounds. The traveller follows a gentle curve in the path until she comes upon a quiet clearing. Here, a single tall tree rises from the centre, its branches spread wide as though offering shelter to any passerby. She notices an inviting patch of soft moss at the base. Settling there, she finds herself gazing at the flicker of sunbeams shimmering through the leaves. The air is peaceful, tinged with the scent of sweet grass and the faint melody of a nearby brook. In this stillness, she closes her eyes, taking several long, deliberate breaths. Each inhale seems to draw in the glen's serenity, and each exhale feels like a release, a gentle letting go of every tension or tightness from distant worries. The day unfolds around her, but here in the Fairy Glen, time has its own gentle flow. Soon, a soft hush announces the approach of twilight. The traveller rises, stepping carefully through the last rays of golden light that streak across the land. Dusk settles over the glen, painting the hills in softer, deeper shades of green. The air cools slightly, and a faint mist begins to gather, rolling in from unseen valleys beyond the horizon. Here and there, nocturnal creatures stir, a subtle rustle among the roots, a faint hoot of an owl hidden in the boughs of an ancient tree. A gentle hush envelops every slope and hollow, granting the Fairy Glen an even more otherworldly aura. It is as if the place stands on a threshold between waking and dream. The traveller feels an inexplicable sense of awe, a heightened awareness of how precious and fleeting such moments can be. In the twilight's kind embrace, she makes her way toward a modest rise in the land, where a flat patch of grass extends like a welcoming carpet. Here, she decides to rest once more, letting her gaze wander over the gentle slopes, illuminated by the silver glow of a new moon rising behind drifting clouds. The birdsong that once filled the daylight has softened to a few final evening calls, each note a lull in the hush of dusk. Taking in the soft hush, she feels her own eyelids grow heavier. She stretches her legs, feeling the soothing comfort of grass beneath her. This quiet space, with its whispering wind and the glimmer of a faint star or two overhead, feels like the perfect place to surrender to calm. Slowly, as the last remnant of sunlight fades from the sky, the traveller's thoughts settle into that serene, half-dream state that precedes deep rest. The Fairy Glen stands as a gentle protector around her, its hills reminiscent of kindly watchful figures. The breeze, once lively, now lowers its voice to a comforting hush. The grass and the stones seem to radiate a soft warmth, as if storing the last glow of the day. In this peaceful moment, her breathing slows further, her mind quiets, no longer crowded with tasks or lists. Instead, she is fully present in the subtle wonder of nightfall, enveloped by the glen's silent invitation to let go, to drift. If one were to watch her from afar, they would see only a figure at rest, embraced by the quiet shapes of gently rolling hills. The traveller's posture grows slack shoulders releasing the final traces of tension. Her breath, slow and measured, mingles with the rhythm of the glen's nocturnal heartbeat. The hush of hidden blooms, now folded for the night, and the faint notes of an owl's lament create a lullaby that resonates in the hush. High above, the moon climbs higher, revealing more of its silver face. Each moment whispers an invitation to step deeper into the realm of dreams, where the boundaries between imagination and reality soften into a tender union of pure, restful harmony. Now, as the glen's hush grows deeper, the traveller lies down in the soft grass. The silhouettes of hills stand guard in the moonlight. Stars begin their faint dance overhead, pinpoints of light scattered across a vast sky. The land cradles her with gentle slopes, supporting her slow descent into slumber. With every exhale, she releases more of the waking world's cares, feeling them dissolve into the hush of this secret place. In the quiet of the Scottish night, her breathing steadies, her thoughts drifting like a light cloud passing over a moonlit field. Time seems to dissolve, replaced by an unspoken lull that flows through the air, through her body, and into the land itself. Each muscle unknots, each heartbeat whispers serenity. The Fairy Glen, with its hidden blooms and soft birdsong, has offered its calm gifts, gently leading her toward a peaceful rest. In your own space now, you may feel that same soothing invitation. Let it wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cool evening. Feel the softness of your own breath, the gentle rise and fall that harmonizes with the hush of night. Let go, dear traveller. The journey here has been sweet and restorative, and now it invites you to slip even more fully into a safe and dreaming sleep. Settle into your resting place. Notice how your eyelids grow heavier, how your limbs feel lighter with each breath. Darkness softly envelops the glen, and the lullaby of nature continues in hushed tones, guiding you to peace. You are welcome here, in this dreamlike world where nothing is rushed, nothing is urgent. Let the Fairy Glen's calm weave gently into your dreams, carrying you through the night in a cradle of stillness and soft light. Good night, dear traveller. Sleep well.